Welcome to video 3, the last video of week 2 of online learning, where we're going to have 2 examples and talk about 2 logarithm rules. So, a couple rules we have to talk about are, we have to make sure that the logs have to have the same base. Now, this first rule is if we have log base b of something and we add log base b of something as well, what we get to do then, we don't like writing logarithms more than once. They both have the same base. Let's combine them. So what we're going to do is write log base b one time, and the x and the y, or whatever 2 things are there, will be multiplied with one logarithm. If they're not the same base, you cannot do that. Now, what happens if you don't add them, but instead we subtract them? I'm going to change it to w and z. If we subtract 2 logarithms with the same base, we still want to write it as one logarithm, combine it, but now we are going to divide those 2 things, w and z. The first one will always be in the numerator. Now, if you start with this log base b of a quotient of something being divided, then you can go ahead and separate them if that is going to help. Let's go ahead and work on our examples. We got 2 to talk about in this video. And the first one is going to be -6 plus log base 8 of 4x plus log base 8 of 6x equals -4. Now this seems like a lot, but don't worry about it. Now, first thing we're going to look at is our logarithms here. Now the logs are being added together, so what we're going to do, since they have the same base, we can combine them to be one logarithm, and we are just going to multiply the 4x and the 6x. Now, and everything else will stay the same. We need this logarithm to kind of be by itself, so I'm going to add the 6 to the other side to equal 2. And I'm going to simplify what's in parentheses here to be 24x squared. Now this looks just like a problem that we did a couple of videos ago. We're going to take the base of the logarithm and make it the base of an exponent on the other side, and just set it equal to what's left. And then we just solve. So 24x squared should equal 64 then. 8 squared is 64. If we divide by 24, that should give us the fraction 8/3. And if I square root both sides, check this in your calculator, should be 1.63. Last example for week 2 logarithms. Log base 9 of 2 minus log base 9 of x equals log base 9 of 10. Now I'm only going to focus on the left-hand side of the equation. The two logarithms are being subtracted. And because they have the same base, we're going to combine them. Since they're being subtracted, we are going to divide the 2 and the x. From there, we're just going to solve like normal. Turn it into an exponential if possible. Or if you notice in this one, on both sides of the equal sign, we have the same base, which means what we're taking the logarithms of need to be the same. So drop the logs and then just solve this equation. So 2 should equal 10x. Divide by 10, x should be 0.2.